Respected officials of Arya Samaj, members, principals, teachers, and dear students. We are celebrating Rishi Bodh Divas today. So, what is Rishi Bodh Divas? Children had performed very well. They had given a wonderful program. But what is meant by Bodh and what is a Rishi Bodh? So we'll discuss few things about Maharishi Dayananda, what he actually gifted to this world. So Rishi Bodh is nothing but Bodh is enlightenment. So Rishi got an enlightenment. So what was that enlightenment? It was a trigger on some day. All the story you all know. Rishi Dayananda lived only for 59 years. And in that 59 years, his real education started at the age of 33. He was actually struggling to gain the knowledge, know the truth, resolve all the conflicts which were there in the mind, trying to do self-mortification. And when he really went to his Guru, Dandi Birjanandji, he studied there for 3 years almost. And that was his real education, wherein he learned a lot of things. And he became really a great scholar. So which means he had only 22 years of life after completing his real education from Dandi Birjanandji. And in that 22 years, really what wonderful thing he has done. And in those 22 years, he spent his time either sometime in self-mortification and the remaining time traveling in every nook and corner of this country, especially the west and north of India, and spread the knowledge of Vedas, doing commentary on Vedas, writing some treatises like Satyarth Prakash and Sanskar Vidhi and so many books, and doing something for the betterment of the society. So it is really a wonder that a book like Satyarth Prakash was only completed in 90 days. After having read and a knowledge of more than 3,000 books. So this is one thing. But the point is, what really we can take from his life, what qualities Rishi Dayananda had, which we can imitate. Everybody would like to become Rishi Dayananda. But then, what were his qualities? We must summarize, we should know and try to see that if we can possess those qualities. And I am going to discuss on few things which he possessed, which made him really epoch-making. Maharishi Dayananda was epoch-making, social reformer, a great scholar of Vedas, and sacrificed his whole life for the betterment of people and society, and fighting against the social evils which were then existed, which are still existing, some of the evils. So what qualities he possessed? Let's talk about him. And I would give some examples so that we can really understand in a better way. See, the first and foremost quality Dayanand possessed was truth. He believed that all the source of knowledge of truth is from Vedas. And for truth, he made no compromises. There were situations in his life where there were temptations, there were compromises which would have been possible, but he never compromised. And really, what is meant by truth? How he defined truth? So he defined truth as the following. He said, any substance which is defined as it is, as it existed or exists. Substance, to know the substance as it is, as what it is. And it is not only to know, but to believe in the similar manner and also to practice in our life. So to know the substance, to believe the substance in whatever manner you know, and also to practice in our life. I will give you a wonderful example, which is our day-to-day example. We all believe that God is formless. Is there anybody in this hall who does not believe that God is formless? All believe that God is formless, yes or no?
Yes.
So loudly, you can't say loudly.
Yes.
So you all believe, or we all believe that God is formless. Correct? Which means no shape. However, so this is knowing in the definition to know. So the form of God it is a formless. This is the knowledge. However, how many of us believe that God is formless? One is reading in the book, reading in Vedas, or sometimes we go to school, Arya Samaj here and there, and read some books and say God is formless. We mug up maybe sometimes. So God is formless, this is knowing it. How many people really believe? So here is the filter now. That many people may not believe, oh, it is written there, but it's not really striking. And how many people actually practice it? Which means that we believe that we know that God is formless. Many people may believe that God is formless, but many people go and do idol worship. Make some sculpture, idol of God, and then start worshipping. So this is not the truth. The truth is to know the substance, believe the substance as what we know, and to practice it. And what is the evidence? The reference or the yardstick has to be Vedas. So whatever is written in the Vedas, which is the knowledge, which is the truth, and the knowledge has come from God. So the truth, you believe it, you know it, and you practice it. This is actually the truth. I will give you a couple of examples in his life. When he was actually wandering, he was struggling, he was a sannyasi. gain knowledge, to really know the truth. And during that time, in Himalayas, he happened to go to one mutt. You understand mutt? Like we have Ramakrishna mutt, we have Kanchi mutt, so many mutts are there, right? So there are lots of mutts in northern part of the India. And he went to one of the mattas which is called as Okhi Mutt. And in that, of course, till then Swami Dayananda knew a little bit thing. And the chief of the mutt was very much impressed by this young sannyasi. And that mutt had lot of wealth. So the head of the mutt said, why don't you come and take a position of the head after me? The whole thing is yours. But Maharishi Dayanand said, sorry, more than the wealth I had with me when I was living with my parents. But I want to know the truth. I cannot compromise on the truth, which the source of that is not Vedas. I will give you another example. After completing his studies in a place called Bareilly in Uttar Pradesh, Swamiji was spreading the message of Vedas. And lot of people, used to listen to him, including the Britishers. So, in one of the speeches, one of the programs he was conducting, and commissioner of that place, collector of that place, and there were a couple of Christian fathers. One of them was Father Scott, who was actually a good friend of Maharishi Dayanand. So they were listening, and Maharishi started talking, and in a flow, he actually criticized the social evils and whatever the bad things, whether it is Pauranic or Hindu religion or whatever it is. Whatever is the truth, he was speaking. Whatever is not untruth, he was criticizing. So in that, actually the English people were very happy. They were laughing on some of the social ignorant things which were prevalent in Hindu religion then. But soon Swamiji also switched to Islam and also Christianity, and he actually told what is wrong there. And the speech was over. The English collector commissioner were very angry because they thought, why this Swamiji is criticizing the Christian religion. So once the speech was over, the official of the organizer was called, and he was told, Swamiji should not criticize Christianity. Please tell him to go slow and be careful, otherwise people will get angry. So the organizer went to Swamiji. He was actually scared to talk to him, but then eventually he said, Swamiji, please be careful, otherwise commissioner and collector will become unhappy. So Swamiji said, okay, I will see. Then next day's speech, he started, the subject was Atma, and he said, I am being told to talk untruth because some commissioner will be unhappy, some collector will be unhappy. However, he said, I will not stop talking about truth, even though the king comes and king requests me to speak untruth. So such was his commitment for truth, and which all he practiced throughout his life. So the first quality, always truth, and truth based on Vedas, which is the source of a great knowledge which has come from God. The second quality I would like to tell you, friends, is brahmacharya. There is no proper word for brahmacharya in English. That is why I am saying brahmacharya. So it is nothing but ascetic sage. And what Rishi had demonstrated and believed, that because of brahmacharya, the mental, physical and spiritual strength of a person increases multifold. And brahmacharya means the time to be utilized for gaining the knowledge of Vedas. Focus on knowledge, that is nothing but a brahmacharya. All our energy and resources to be focused on gaining the knowledge of Vedas. So this is brahmacharya. There are some examples in his life where once he was actually delivering a discourse, and there was one person who was unhappy because he was criticizing idol worship. And that person, he was very angry and he came. His name was Rao Karan Singh. And he came with a sword and he said, I will kill you if you do not stop this. So Maharishi, with his great strength of brahmacharya, he looked at him and just tackled that person and took the sword from his hand and just broke it. So such was the strength of brahmacharya, a mental power and also a physical strength. There is one more example I would like to narrate. There is one place in Punjab called Jalandhar, and there was one Sardar Vikram Singh. So by then Maharishi's fame was all over. And Maharishi went to Sardar Vikram Singh's place and there was a lot of discussion. And Sardar said that according to you, brahmacharis have a lot of strength. But in a sarcasm, he said, but I don't see anything. I couldn't, visualize. I couldn't experience. So Rishiji, he kept quiet, and then once the discussion was over and Sardar was moving in his chariot, so the chariot was not moving at all. So Sardar looked back and he saw with a one hand Rishi had held the chariot. And then he said, this is the power of brahmacharya. And then Sardar said, yes, I realize now. So this is foremost quality he possessed, he practiced throughout his life. Scientific basis means everything should have evidence. Which form of evidence? That one needs to see. And he took from Vedas, the Shastra, that there are three kinds of proofs, evidences. One is called as a direct proof. Second is the inference. Direct is nothing but turning blue litmus red. You see, with our senses. Whatever we see with our senses is a direct evidence. Right? The second is inference, which means something is going on. Basis of that, we conclude that this must be there. When there is a smoke, there must be a fire. Likewise. And third one is called as a Shabda Praman, which means believing the scriptures, the Vedas, or the great scholars and personalities and rishis and munis. With his logic, he had developed so great logic that there was one Father Jones, and he used to eat beef, and there was a discussion. So with the logic and evidence, Maharishi Dayananda proved that killing of cow is not good. And Father Jones got convinced, and a great thing is he turned to vegetarianism. There is another example. There are so many examples. There is another example of one Muslim Maulavi who started japa of Gayatri Mantra, coming under the influence and logic of Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati. So this is the third quality he possessed. The fourth one is national spirit and integration. Actually, when Maharishi Dayananda completed his studies with his guru, Dandi Birjanand, so Dandiji said, I want something, I want some Guru Dakshina. Guru Dakshina is nothing but a feast. In modern days we are paying the fees. So those days it was a Guru Dakshina. And he says, I want your life as a Guru Dakshina. And this country is in shambles. He said, this country is in shambles, so save this country. And till death, you must work towards saving this country, which has really deviated from Vedas. And therefore, my dear friends, listening to the Guru, after saying Tathastu, he spent whole of his life saving this country, destroying the evils in the society, destroying the untruth which existed then in the society. And he gave a very clarion call that even if the self-rule, which is little inferior, but this is better than any of the foreign rule. The word Swaraj, which we hear, has come from Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati, not anybody else. And therefore, such was his national integrity. He spent whole of his life improving for the country. In fact, the very existence of Arya Samaj, he founded Arya Samaj to save this country. And somebody said, today is a Sunday, so you must be in the church, delivering a lecture. So Maharishi said, let's go and meet him. And all the people went there in the church. After seeing Maharishi Dayanand, the father said, oh, please come and just guide us. So in the church, he delivered a lecture. So that the discourse was on truth. It also included criticism on Christianity. Whatever was untruth there. But still, some people did not mind. Although some people who hated him, they tried to attack him many times, but he never had hatred against anybody. I think this is the greatest quality he had, and that made him so great. So I would like to say, let us think on these various qualities Maharishi Dayanand possessed, and let us try to imitate in our life. Let us learn something and make our life better, which was actually the objective of Maharishi Dayanand. Thank you. Dhanyavad.